Hi, in this Unity tutorial, I'll be showing you how to implement a basic camera shake effect. Before we take a look at our scripts, let's see how our scene is set up for more added context. In our Unity scene, let's start with our player. Our player is a super simple setup with just some basic movement scripts, as well as a dash script. It is the same one I used in my dashing tutorial, so if you're interested, you can go take a look. Next, it has the capsule collider and the rigid body setup, so we can trigger physics events. Next, we have our camera parent object. It will have a smooth follow script, so we can follow the player around smoothly, as well as the camera shake script. Notice that our actual camera is under the camera parent object, and this is a regular Unity camera. Next, we have 4 shake zones. Each one has a shake zone script attached, as well as a box collider, and it's set to trigger. As you can see, each one has a different intensity and speed, and the last one is set to be used fixed duration. Let's start with the camera shake script, and let's take a look at our references and settings. Under references, we store a reference to the camera's transform. This is the transform that will actually be moved during the shake effect. This is assigned in the inspector. Under settings, we define intensity, which controls how far the camera can move from its original position during the shake, and speed, which controls how quickly the camera interpolates towards its target's offset, and how fast it returns to its original position when the shake ends. Under state, we define our internal state variables. Original position, which stores the camera's default local position before any shaking occurs. Target offset, which is the currently randomly chosen offset the camera is moving towards. Current offset, which is the camera's current shake offset. And finally, shake, a boolean that tracks whether the camera is currently shaking. In the start method, we cache the camera's original local position. Next, we define shake camera, which is the public method other scripts can call to trigger a camera shake. This method takes a duration parameter, which controls how long the shake lasts. If the camera is already shaking, the method exits immediately to prevent overlapping shakes. If it's not shaking, we start a coroutine that manages the shake state. The shake coroutine is responsible only for timing. When the coroutine starts, we set the shake to true. We then wait for the specified duration using wait for seconds. After the wait is complete, we set the shake back to false, signaling the shaking should stop. All actual movement logic is handled in the update method. In our update method, we check the shake state. If shake is true, the camera is actively shaking. First, we check the distance between the current offset and the target offset. If the distance is within a certain threshold, we generate a new target offset using random.insideUnitSphere, scaled by intensity. This gives us a new random offset for the shake. We then smoothly interpolate current offset towards target offset using vector3.lerp, scaled by time.delta and speed. Finally, we apply the shake by setting the camera's local position to the original position plus the current offset. This approach creates smooth, continuous movement rather than jittery frame-by-frame jumps. If shake is false, the camera is no longer shaking. We smoothly interpolate the camera's local position back to original position using vector3.lerp again. This ensures the camera settles back naturally instead of snapping instantly. Shake zone is a trigger-based zone which activates camera shaking when a player enters a specific area. We first define the settings of the zone. Use fixed duration determines how the shake behaves. If it's true, the camera shake plays once for a fixed amount of time. If false, the camera shakes continuously while the player remains inside of the zone. Duration defines how long the shake lasts when using a fixed duration. Speed controls how quickly the camera shakes, and intensity controls how strong the shake effect is. This script implements onTriggerEnter, which is called when another collider enters the trigger volume. First, we check whether the collider belongs to the player by comparing its tag to player. If it's not the player, we simply return without doing anything. If it is the player, we get the player's camera shake component through the player script, and we then apply the zone speed and intensity values to the camera shake, overriding any previous settings. Next, if useFixed duration is true, we call ShakeCamera, which triggers a timed shake using the coroutine in the CameraShake script. If use fixed duration is false, we directly set shake to true, causing the camera to shake continuously as long as the player remains inside the trigger. Finally, we handle on-trigger exit, which is called when the collider leaves the trigger volume. We again verify that the collider belongs to the player and that we are not using a fixed duration shake. If either conditions fail, we just return and do nothing again. But if both conditions pass, we retrieve the player's camera shake component and we set the shake to false, stopping the camera shake when the player exits the zone. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.